I am doing really, really, really well. With a lot of the initial complaints, that we started off with, the symptoms and stuff that I had, like the pain, I have a major decrease in pain. I think my hair is starting to grow. I'm getting like these little baby hairs I've started to notice. I've been losing hair for about 18 months. And so that's progress. And joint stiffness and inflammation, just I can tell systemic inflammation is much better. I had so much inflammation, I had so much chaos happening in my body that it was so many fires. And now that this major, like, it's almost like water has been put on this huge fire, that now we can see, oh, this is the root causes of all those fires. So now we can tackle them, put them out, like the yeast and candida, like other, things that are going on. Cause I have Lyme. So it's like a whole other animal than autoimmune disease, so it's like the just general inflammation that goes down really allows me to put my energy to the right thing, because now I can see it better, if that makes sense. Like I'm not waking up bloated and nauseous anymore. I did that for months and months and months. I was so bloated and nauseous in the mornings. And now I have a flat belly in the mornings, and, the bowels moving, like having the bowel movements. I was really thankful for that because, just over the summer, like I would go like 3 or 4 days and nothing, and I would feel sick. You feel sick when your bowels aren't moving, and I would feel so bad. And that wasn't always the norm for me. Another thing that I would say has progressed and done really well that I want to continue to do is my lymph nodes. Like my lymph nodes feel better. And then I also learned over the summer how to do lymph massage. I think actually the week before I started the program. And so I can do self lymph massage, but now it moves so much faster. And so the pain, a lot of the pain that I was having was actually stagnant lymph. And so with the combination of this diet, allowing so much hydration and just so much healing and good stuff for the lymph, for me to do the self massage, it's like I had so much pain in my back, and I did a lymph massage, and it just all moved right out, and all the pain went away. I have ligament damage in my upper cervical area from my cranium to the bottom 2 ligaments right there. That's where the worst of it. And so when I went yesterday, I put it in my workbook to you guys, or I think an email or something. But so this being out was cutting off my blood supply to my brain, which was causing my memory problems and the cognitive problems, and then causing anxiety because the vagus nerve is in there, as well, and cerebral spinal fluid flow. Like all these things are all in the vertebrae, they travel up the sides. So and then in the middle of the night, after I go from, laying down to where the blood could get to my brain, and then I go to stand up, and now the blood can't get out of my head, and my head's pulsing and my heart rate shoots to 160. If I didn't know about this, which I didn't for years and years and years until I got hurt, I got injured, and it made it much worse. I already had it before, but the injury made it much worse. So I finally figured it out and found it. But for years before that, I would have those symptoms and everybody just blamed it on grapes when all my labs would be totally fine. So it's like the Lyme disease, like who knows exactly what symptoms are specific to the Lyme. It's like, it's all this kind of messed up ball of problems that I don't always clearly know which one is which. So going to the chiropractor yesterday, it's like, oh, all the memory and cognitive function fix itself right up. All my blood pressure and blood flow and heart rate fix itself right up. I think I had a lot of injuries as a kid that nobody really paid attention to because I didn't have any complaints. I never had pain or anything like that. And then I think Lyme, goes after your connective tissues. And so I think it's been weakening my ligaments and things for a while that I didn't know. And so, whenever this past winter, like almost a year ago, I had a chiropractic adjustment where they did the high velocity where they twist your neck really hard. And I was in the ER the next day, and I could not get out of the ER. I was in the ER every 2 weeks because we didn't know it was my neck. So it took me 3 weeks researching in the middle of the night, having panic attack after panic attack after panic attack. Digestion totally stopped working. Blood flow was really bad. Heart rate and stuff, blood pressure. I figured it out in the middle of the night, and then I started working on it. And then right when I got it fixed by a specific type of chiropractic, it's very non-invasive and gentle, which is what you need for this area. I got rear-ended in a car accident on the highway, like a few days later. So the x-ray that time showed that the the C2, the second one, it was off substantially as the first one. The first one came back pretty good. The second one came back about halfway. But after that car accident, the second one didn't come back at all anymore, which tells me that the ligaments are really damaged. And so I've spent the last almost year since January trying to remediate that injury. And I've had procedures, injections, and all kinds of things to try to, you know, heal and repair that ligament. And I'm still working on it. So it's still going to be something that I work on. And that's one of the things that I encouraged myself with today was, yes, it sucks to have an injury that's so impactful in your life. But if you can annihilate the other things in your life that are problematic and dangerous, like Graves is really dangerous. I got diagnosed in a thyroid storm. Like, I've experienced really traumatic and dangerous things with my health, not just the injury. And it's like, if I can do what I can to help heal those things, right, and get those things to go away, eventually the Lyme and stuff like that too. And just, this is all I have to deal with, you know, like we can handle that. We can figure that out. But right now it's like 3 to 4 things that can become very dangerous and intense if I don't have them all under control all the time.
So people can have inflammation due to the injury. For example, they can have inflammation in the spine because they had an injury. So the inflammation goes away and they experience less symptoms and pain. So that's what we've seen with people who, if they had an injury, or some of our clients had headaches for years, and all the time they had headaches, and then eventually the headache went away, and they think the headache started because they had a car accident, like in your case, but they didn't have nothing else was showing up in the lab work. So we had some people who worked with us who didn't have a diagnosis, but they had either headaches or joint pain and burning in their body, which could have been caused either just having inflammation, but it's not in the lab work, or just having, again, physical injury.